This is your dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. Starting from humble beginnings, Nick has been beating the markets for over 2 decades. He shares with you his take on the profitable trades that will have you moving towards financial freedom in no time at all. To see an in-depth review of his track record and much more, go to inthemoneystocks.com.
Welcome. This is your daily dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. I'm Kerry Lutz. It's 3/1/23, show 470. Well, stock markets are battling to get into positive territory today, Nick.
Yeah, they really are. You have the Dow positive as we speak by about 30 points right now. The S&P was basically flat, then it flipped over to the negative side. Now it's trying to get back to positive territory, trading basically down about 0.1%. So it's really a wacky day. We just had the ISM number come out, February ISM manufacturing index, and that increased to 47.7. But the funny thing about this report is that it's showing that prices actually increased for the first time in 4 months. And, if we see inflation or any signs of inflation, that kind of keeps the Fed at bay, and they need to continue to raise rates. They can't soften their stance there. So what I would tell all the listeners is to go track that 2-year Treasury note yield. Right now, it looks like that yield is at around 4.89%, getting closer to that psychological 5% level. When you look at the important 30-year Treasury note yield, that's at 3.994%, so approaching that psychological 4% level. So basically, the Fed is behind the curve. They have to continue to raise rates. This is like the dog chasing its tail, and I think that's where we are right now.
All right. Energy stocks, though, are higher on the day.
Yeah, energy stocks are really showing good strength today. You have oil, which is actually negative, believe it or not, down 0.5%. But if you look at Exxon, that's up $1.29. Chevron's up $2. Conoco's up $3 and change. The XLE, which is a good energy ETF to track, if you want to track it all, up $1.65. And the oil and gas exploration ETF is up over 2%, nearing $3 gain today. So all of the energy stocks that I track are higher across the board. Oil services are higher. So energy seems to be the strong group today from what I'm seeing right now.
All right. And let's see. What else do we have here? The dollar is pulling back today.
Yeah, we have a pullback in the dollar today, and that's helping gold out a bit. Gold is having a big day, up about 0.8%. Remember, we talked about gold recently, and I said down around that 1825, 1830 level, there's a lot of daily support. So far, that level is held. Right now, we have gold futures sitting at around 1845. So far, gold is getting a little bit of a bid. I think that could continue a little while longer because the dollar has had such a big move. It needs a breather. If the dollar starts to come in a little bit, gold might take its cue and run. And then you also have the war in Ukraine and Russia. That's starting to increase in intensity. This is usually a positive for precious metals if things start to get out of hand over there, as people will say, hey, I'm running into precious metals for safety. We haven't seen that as of late, but that's always a possibility. So that could be a positive headwind for precious metals in the near term.
All right. Well, we will see what happens there. And even silver is catching a bid. It's up over $21 again.
Yeah, silver back above $21. Right now you have silver up today. The SLV is up about 1%. Silver itself not up quite that much. But, yeah, good pop for all the precious metals today. And, again, you see platinum higher. You see the miners higher. Lots of things are getting a bid. And I think that has to do with the dollar softening up a little bit, but the dollar's not down all that much. The dollar's had an exceptional run as of late, especially if you go back to February 2nd. Note, though, February 2nd was where the market topped out, and February 2nd is where the dollar bottomed out. So you can see that correlation there, and I think the dollar is ultimately going a lot higher.
All right, and now Bitcoin. What about Bitcoin here?
Well, Bitcoin is strong again today. It's trading higher by nearly 2%. This popular crypto actually looks like it's doing well on a daily chart. So it's telling me there could be some more daily chart upside for Bitcoin in the near term. The big problem, just remember, comes from the larger time frame, which is still very bearish and signaling another major decline. I think it's going down to 11,000. But before that happens, you might get a bit more of a pop, maybe a couple thousand more points in Bitcoin. I wouldn't rule that out.
There's an interesting thing on Kitco today that the SEC is probing Robinhood's crypto desk for evidence of commingled funds. Now, coming as a recovering attorney, the worst thing you could do as an attorney is commingle your client's funds with your own. That was like punishable by some serious disciplinary action. And for a stockbroker, a brokerage house, equally as dangerous. I mean, that's grounds to just shut the place down.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened, I believe, with FTX. If I'm not
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken,
That's
you
it.
also saw that occur with MF Global. Remember John Coyzine's fund? I think he commingled as well. And commingle's a kiss of death. You got to leave those accounts separate. And yeah, that's exactly what happened with FTX. So we'll see what happens with Robinhood here. I don't know that story, but it wouldn't. Nothing shocks me these days.
Well, it's very foolish. There's so many other ways to steal when you're a stockbroker. That's the worst possible one because you're almost definitely going to get caught. The auditors are going to have to rat you out when they see it, and it's easy to track. There's a paper trail. So Robinhood might go the way of the sheriff of Nottingham Forest, right?
It may. The funny thing about this, Kerry, back in September of, I think it was August or September of 2021, Robinhood stock was trading at around $85 at the peak. Now here it is underneath $10, trading at around $9.88. And when you get these euphoric moves, Coinbase, Robinhood, they all came out, very close to each other. You get all that euphoria. It's usually a good sign of a top. So anybody listening now, should remember that, when you see these things come out and they get rushed out to the marketplace, the market's looking to cash in on them, always watch that as an ominous sign.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I think that is it for today. Make sure you go over to Nick's site, inthemoneystocks.com. See how he's beaten the averages for decades. While you're at it, the Twitter feeds at ITMS, at Nick Santiago01, at Kerry Lutz. Email kl@kerrylutz.com. Post your YouTube comments below. And Nick, we will talk to you on Friday.
Sounds good, Kerry.